since everybody has actually worked from the bottom up, we all know what the processes are and what makes a good study to go through as seamlessly as possible. Dr. Vince Mendenhall. I'm a veterinarian, but I'm not a lab animal vet. I have a PhD in experimental surgery, and I have been doing this kind of work, preclinical, surgical type specialty type implants, since 1971, so it's a little over 40 years, I guess. The studies are divided into a whole lot of different stages or phases. You have the concept, you run what's called method development studies. Now those can be loose as far as the protocol is developed. So an engineer designs something and you take it down and try to get it off the bench. And you see that it's wrong, of course. So he makes a change, then you come back and you do this over and over and over again. Those are method development studies. Then, of course, along all that line is the literature searches and making sure, seeing what else, because it's very difficult to, if not impossible, to be the first one to do anything these days. So you follow that along, and then you, after the method development, you do what's called a pilot study. And you have to make sure that your pilot study protocol is, and you follow it as very closely and more attention to detail actually in a pilot study than you really need to do in the definitive study. But then the definitive study just goes through just easy as could be if you've done all of the previous work. So the major problems I see in researchers that tend to go from basic research then to applied research is this lack of a definite objective. What are you really going to look for? The other main thing is that the device in particular, or the material, may not be very well characterized. And once you start the study, you need to make sure that it is well characterized and that you don't make changes in the middle of the study. Then documentation is the other main thing. In this business, if it's not written down, it didn't happen. And you cannot write reports that are based upon recall. It has to be written down in the raw data. So those are the main things. Also, you can get in trouble by being too specific. Let's say you're going to do something 15 centimeters from X. Well, you can't always be 15 centimeters from X, so you have to just make it correct and say about 15 centimeters. But then your raw data has to document that you, in fact, measured that distance. If it doesn't, you can't say that you did that. So you need to be a little bit vague, but a little bit specific. One of the things that we do offer in the business here, that we have Preclinical Translational Services or Preclinical Surgical Services, is the development of this type of protocol. And we can specifically write protocols with definitive study designs for the entire study, leading through all of the method development, all the way through the definitive study.